So it seems almost like you're saying that we should not be focusing as much on fairness. So are you saying that we should be accepting unfair deals with Trump?
Uh, I think that's a fair criticism. Yes.
And so if I could ask you a question that could sound a little bit tricky, because when we talk about fairness and he cares about a fairness of outcome, is there a risk here that suddenly he will get into a mode of the end justifies the means?
Yes, I think there is, right?
Okay.
And that happens often with hard bargainers. It's because they want to use power. And so that could be even scary if you're talking about a president of the United States. I would say that he's also tends to be, and people may say it's not genuine, but he clearly wants to be seen as a peacemaker, as a person that pursues peace. And he's very much against war and killing. So I think in his moral framework, killing is really seen negatively. I would say more so than many recent past American presidents. And so while it can escalate in conflict as we see now with the trade talks and can damaging to the economy, I think he's very careful not escalating militarily, as we've seen, for example, in his approach and his fear for World War III with Russia. So yes, we should be afraid, but we should also be afraid when we have other people that perceive fairness to be the most important value and they're not willing to back down of fairness and even get into a nuclear exchange, as we actually see nowadays with many other Western leaders. And on a personal level, that for me is even more scary, because people who are too focused on their fairness and think that unfair deals, for example, are always unacceptable. Those are the people that can lead the world to catastrophes. And when we look back into world wars, it actually many times stems from that. People focusing on fairness, and so I will not accept an unfair deal, being blind to the differences in power, not thinking in what's the deal that will create more value for my side, and just get stuck on fairness. And so again, maybe a little personal, but I think that the focus on fairness is extremely damaging. And so it's good that people can look at Trump and the others and compare and see what could be a good way for people to solve their differences around the world.
So it seems almost like you're saying that we should not be focusing as much on fairness. So are you saying that we should be accepting unfair deals with Trump?
Uh, I think that's a fair criticism. Yes. I think that it's not the ideal world. I would not say that having Trump as a president of the United States is an ideal scenario. I don't think many people would feel that is, but it's a reality. And so I think that if you look and you can break down reality through the lenses of power, of value, and fairness. And so if you do that, you want to do, okay, I want to maximize value, understanding the limitations of power that I have. And then you may also want to, yes, maximize fairness, but many times the three are at odds. And yes, so what I'm saying is, yes, if you need to sacrifice one of them, and you may have to do that at this moment, it's better to sacrifice the fairness, engage Trump in a way that may be unfair, but try to maximize the value that you can get from your side.